Bangibiza igqomkhulu kid. All right. Asami mzala. Ha, yo. Thank you Mr. Lu. MSK. Kumnandi phandle iPotsoy. Ngicima isibane uphume ngefestiri. Asami mzala. Bangibiza igqomkhulu kid. Alright. Asam Nomzamo. Ha! Yo, yo, yo. Thank you, Mr. Lu. MSK. Kumnandi phandle ipotsoy. Ngicima isibane uphume ngefestiri. Asam Nomzamo.
Aibo, Welcome to UNHCR's LuQuLuQu, Africa is a continent, African is a country. Comedy with a purpose. Featuring comedians Basketmouth, Daliso Chaponda, Eddie Caddy, and AK Dance. With your hosts Goliath and Dr. Kingori. Alongside music performances by Tubaba and Lira. Take your seats, the show is about to begin.
Away. We are Goliath and Goliath. I'm Jason Goliath.
And I'm Jonathan Goliath.
And I'm Nicholas Goliath.
And we are so privileged, honored, and excited to be the host of Africa is a Continent, African is a Country comedy show with a purpose as we celebrate the best of the best that Pan-African comedy has to offer.
That's right, Jason. It sounds fantastic. It sounds amazing. But perhaps we should tell them what the name means.
Oh, the name is simple. We just got tired of people confusing Africa as a country. It's not a country, it's a continent with many countries, with many beautiful stories. It's culturally rich and thick, and there's Ubuntu and nice things. African, however, that's a people. African, that is a country. I like that.
I like that too. I love what you're saying. Being united as Africans means that we do, like you said, embrace the Ubuntu philosophy of a collective humanity, a shared humanity where we look out for each other and, of course, take care of one another.
That's right. And this also means having a shared responsibility in supporting our vulnerable communities, our forcibly displaced African brothers and sisters.
And that's exactly what UNHCR's LuQuLuQu movement is all about. Celebrating togetherness, kindness, and again, togetherness.
Absolutely. This event is being organized by the UNHCR's LuQuLuQu movement to support families forced to flee their homes because of conflict, violence, or persecution. Now, throughout the show and beyond, you will have the opportunity to show support by donating via, what is that link?
Oh, it's simply donate.unhcr.org/comedy with a purpose.
That's right. And to know more or to learn more about what it means to do it LuQuLuQu, let's have a look.
That you are enjoying this fantastic show. The meaning behind UNHCR's LuQuLuQu, Africa is a continent, African is a country, speaks to me in more ways than one. You see, for diasporans like myself, my linkage to Africa has never been more important. Not only because of my heritage or because of everything that's happening in the world where we're all working together to help end racial and other forms of discrimination, but it's also because of my support for UNHCR's work on the ground, protecting and supporting people forced to flee their homes. Africa actually hosts the highest number of people forcibly displaced because of violence, conflict, or persecution. I have had the honor to meet many of these families during my visits to refugee camps in Ethiopia and Uganda recently, where I saw how resilient and courageous and hopeful refugees are. I really truly believe that each one of us, whether we live on the continent or abroad, have an important role in changing the narrative of the African refugee. Let's all remember that Africa is the cradle of humanity. Our collective linkage to our history unites us. Together, we can answer the LuQuLuQu call to actively help rebuild the lives of the most vulnerable, those who have been forced to flee through no fault of theirs. Join me in doing so and enjoy the rest of the show.
Do it, LuQuLuQu! Yes, man. Now, for those that don't know, LuQuLuQu is not just a hashtag. It is a way of life committed to supporting our most vulnerable communities, our brothers and sisters who have fled their homes because of conflict, violence, or persecution.
We're also joined by our internationally, globally, wonderfully famous friend, Dr. Kingori, who's not only a champion at being a comedian, but he's also a champion at questions and answers. And he'll be handling the Q&A section. After every set, you'll get to find out even more information about some of your favorite African acts. Dr. King, I think we're in good hands.
That's right, Dr. Kingori, what's up?
Yo, Goliath brothers, this is finally happening. And I'm very happy to be part of this noble initiative, Comedy with a Purpose, courtesy of UNHCR's LuQuLuQu. And guys, we have an amazing show, like you said. I'm so happy to speak to AK Dance. I'm so happy to speak to Basketmouth, Daliso Chaponda, Eddie Caddy, yani some of Africa's finest comedic talent coming together for the purpose of raising money, raising funds and awareness for families forced to flee their homes. And one of the comedians we have on the show this day is AK Dance, who happens to have grown up at the Kakuma refugee camp, a place I've had the privilege to visit. When UNHCR facilitated my trip to the Kakuma refugee camp, I got to meet resilient families, and one thing they live for, one thing that keeps them going is hope. The hope that they will get better moving forward in life. And we are doing this to bring that hope closer to them. So donate. Just go to donate.unhcr.org/comedy with a purpose, and we get to do our part to humanity. And that's why we are doing this event, and I hope it's not a one-off event, and let's hope we'll achieve that with this particular comedy show.
Let's give a massive shout out to all our brothers and sisters joining us from the refugee camps and, of course, IDP settlements today. And every day we honor their resilience, courage, and hope. We are united with you.
Now, our goal today is to reach out and help forcibly displaced humans across the globe, really, but also give you an opportunity to get involved, help out, and donate.
You can help a family forced to flee today. Every little bit counts. Commit to kindness and donate. Like Jason said, go to donate.unhcr.org/comedy with a purpose.
Absolutely. On with the show, we are delighted to be joined by our comedic friends, including Basketmouth, Daliso Chaponda, Eddie Caddy, and of course, AK Dance.
After each of these performances, they'll all be speaking to Dr. Kingori. He'll be getting the lowdown, the ins and outs, help understand how entertainers like ourselves have survived the pandemic.
We're also thrilled to have musical performances by Tu Baba and the one and only Lira.
Don, who's first up?
Ooh, this is exciting. We really want to get this show going by our first featured comedian and one of our friends, one of our absolute favorite people in the world. It is none other than the great Daliso Chaponda.
Daliso Chaponda. Daliso Chaponda.
Hello. This is Daliso Chaponda, the Malawian stand-up comedian. I'm from Malawi, the warm heart of Africa. That's our slogan. We gave ourselves this slogan. A lot of African countries have slogans. Kenya is the pride of Africa. South Africa is the rainbow nation. No one ever assigned these slogans. We chose them ourselves. It's like choosing your own nickname. This is very perilous. If I had to choose my own nickname, I would be Daliso, the hilarious and brilliant. It's been a strange year. 2020 has been horrible for a lot of us because of COVID. I was in lockdown March, April, May, and I live alone. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a wife. I don't have kids. I was so lonely to the point I started fantasizing about things I didn't think I'd ever miss, stuff I used to complain about. I was fantasizing about being on a crowded train. I was dreaming of hugging somebody with bad body odor. I got so lonely, I started calling up ex-girlfriends, just saying, hi, just checking how you're doing. Everything's forgiven. Please touch me. I was also not very busy because all comedy was on pause. I was not busy at all for months. And then suddenly I got very busy because of Black Lives Matter. Now, a lot of you might not know this, but anytime something black and negative happens in the news, all of the UK radio and TV stations, I live in the UK, they panic because they don't want to seem racist. So they all called me. I've never been so busy in my life. I was on every TV station. I was on every radio station answering questions about things I don't even have an opinion about. And it's created this odd situation where, of course, I don't want racist things to happen, but when they do, it's really good for my career. My heart, my soul is Martin Luther King, MLK, but my brain is
Black Lives Matter.
hoping. But the recurrent question I'm asked is, do I experience a lot of racism? As an African in the diaspora, have I experienced a lot? Now, I've actually been lucky because I live in a well-to-do area. I've not experienced any overt racism. But what I do come across a lot is ignorance, which can even be well-meaning. I had a posh white lady approach me in Cambridge, excited. She was like, oh, you're that comedian. I'm such a big fan. My family, we all love you. It's so inspiring the way you came from nothing. And I was like, what is this woman on about? And the more she spoke, I realized what had happened, right? She grabbed hold of the fact that I am from Africa. And she just started telling herself stories, imagining I had some poverty-stricken upbringing. Yes, Malawi is one of the poorest countries in the world, but I wasn't. We had a Volvo. I had to let her know that I grew up privileged, and I felt so bad because she'd been so excited. She thought that she was talking to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I had to let her know I'm more Carlton. And I'm not that African, right? I'm not that Oliver Twist story who grew up in a village and changed his life. I didn't have to be because that was my dad. My father grew up in a village in Malawi, got a scholarship to Yale in America, ended up joining the UNHCR, right? I never had to be that child because my mom grew up in a village, got a scholarship, ended up becoming a doctor. I am so proud of both of them, but it is a lot of pressure. I have no excuse to fail, right? My parents did the full arc. Imagine I'm a failure. I'm going to have a lot of explaining to do when I have kids. Can you imagine? They start looking through the photos and saying, Dad, what happened? You used to have a Volvo. I'll have to spin it. I think I'll have to spin it, right? Because you can't admit you're a failure. I'll have to say to them, hey, kids, you are so lucky. You are so lucky. You get to stay so fit. Walking 10 miles to school every day. When I was a kid, we were driven. And I went to posh British schools. That was the greatest privilege of my upbringing. I went to posh British schools in Africa, post-colonial schools. But when I look back at it, the curriculum was a little bit weird, right? In Kenya, I went to one school, Kenton College, wonderful school. But we learned English, French, Latin. No African languages, no Zulu, no Swahili, no Chichewa, Latin. I'm a bow, I'm a bus, I'm a bat. It's a waste of time. My crazy school thought there's more chance I'm going to run into the ghost of Julius Caesar than another living, breathing African. In history class, you'd think being on African soil, maybe Jomo Kenyatta will come up. Maybe Nelson Mandela will come up. Maybe Kamuzu Banda will come up. No! Henry VIII. William the Conqueror. And I didn't understand it because I was a child. But as I grew older, I realized in loads of subtle ways, my school was telling me that my culture was horrible and British culture was much better. And then I moved to the UK and I heard people saying, why do all these immigrants come here? And I was like, you prepared me. Where did you think I was gonna go? I speak English. I know about Henry VIII. You should have taught me Japanese if you didn't want me here. But at the same time, I chose to move here. I was an economic migrant who chose to move to the UK. There are lots of people who are forced to move, displaced people who we're raising money for. It's very, very important cause, and I am delighted to be part of it. Thank you so much for having me, and please donate. Now, if you've not got a lot of money, donate a penny. If you've got a lot of money, right, donate it all. Take out a mortgage.
Thank you, Daliso, for that, for such a wonderful piece, Manze. And thank you for agreeing to be part of this wonderful initiative. And it's an honor of mine to be part of such an initiative and to be on the same platform with an African heavyweight like yourself. That was a nice piece. And I like that you recognize Kenya as a pride of Africa.
Wait, hold on. African heavyweight. Are you talking about the fact that I've gained weight?
No, I noticed that you've added weight since Britain's Got Talent. I had to recognize that.
I'm an African medium weight, okay? I'm not heavyweight yet.
But I think it's a little sneaky that you describe Malawi as a warm part of Africa. I would take that as an insinuation that that's the headquarters of hot men from Africa. That's sneaky.
Well, I present Exhibit A. Exhibit number 1, the warmest of the Malawians. And as I said, I've been single in lockdown, so I know this is for charity, but I am also applying for a wife. Okay, so I'm just putting it out there.
But don't you think the fact that you haven't gotten a wife up until this moment could be a sign?
Oh no, you don't understand. I had no wife by choice because I had multiple options. I should not be admitting this. My dad's watching, my mom's watching. No, I didn't have lots of partners. I've been waiting for the one.
Ah, nice, man. Well in. And I like the fact that you share your experience and your dad being proud of this. That's a very, very good thing to this noble initiative that we are part of. How did that make you feel, especially having to live in another country that's not your home country?
Well, when I was a child, I didn't really think anything of it, because as a child, you don't know what a border is. You don't know what a nationality is. You just know you have your friends. It doesn't matter if your friend is Polish, doesn't matter if your friend is Japanese. It's only as you get older, you start understanding these false categories which we are all defined by, right? If you think about it, when we sit down and we fill out a form, there are loads of categories we have to fill in which allow people to define us, like, oh, Malawian, black, male. But does that really describe who I am? What actually describes me more is love science fiction, has a great sense of humor, and is cheeky. Why are we defined by the groups we're born into, not the groups we choose?
That's a very, very nice way to put it. And will that explain why you describe yourself as a citizen of nowhere?
Yes, so you're referring to, I have a radio show which is called Citizen of Nowhere, which is based on the fact that I grew up in all of these different countries and I took a bit of every culture. But what I've realized gradually is, yes, I was a citizen of nowhere, but maybe now actually I'm a citizen of everywhere because it gave me a perspective which is a bit of everything.
It's such an honor to have you on this, as part of this, and to be with you on the same platform.
Well, it's been good. It's been very good. I like the idea of Africans coming together and also comedians coming together for a good cause, because sometimes we're too competitive. You know, like if this was an audition, I wouldn't want you to do well. But because we're coming together for a great cause, we're both glad that we're both being funny.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I hope we get to do this again and again. We say that this is truly a Pan-African event, didn't we? I'll show you. The talented multi-award-winning actress Hend Sabry is with us.
Hello everyone, Hend Sabry here. I hope you're enjoying the show. To me, Africa is more than a continent. Africa is a culture. Africa is one country. No matter if you come from north, south, east, center, or west, we are all African. And we are stronger if we are united. Remember, we are only as vulnerable as the most vulnerable among us. Today, the LuQuLuQu family has put on a Pan-African show like no other. A show that is uniting all of us Africans and all of us of African descent. to unite and laugh and commit to kindness. They say laughter has no borders, and I agree. Do it LuQuLuQu. It's a lifestyle.
Now, we know the COVID-19 pandemic made things challenging for many of us. But for families forced to flee their homes because of conflict, violence, or persecution, COVID-19 has brought upon an emergency within an emergency. Let's take a look at what it means for UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency's work on the ground. Thank you so much to the UNHCR for staying, delivering. We want to keep it moving right now and introduce an absolute favorite. You guys are going to love him. It is none other than the hilarious AK Dance.
Hi there, how are you doing from wherever you're watching around the world? I'm so happy to be here to be doing this show for a very great cause like this. And this is one of the most amazing shows that I've ever done. I've been doing comedy for about 4 years. And if I tell you that this is the best, please believe me. Because one of my worst shows, I performed for 2 people. 2 people like this. And one of them was a waitress. And the other one knew my father. Do you know what it means to perform for someone who knows your father? Like every time you tell a joke that's not funny, he's like, I know his father, he should be in school. Why is he here? And you know, the thing with when you perform for 2 people, right? When there's so many people, if one person goes to the washrooms, you continue with the show. Performing for 2 people, this dude that knew my father went to the washrooms. I had to wait for him to come back. As soon as he got back, I was like, so, uncle, I was saying, I've gone through a lot doing comedy. You will know you've had a terrible show as a stand-up comedian when you, the comedian, and the audience take the same Uber back home. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, my uncle was like, let's share the ride. I know they did not pay you. Call the waitress too. It's hectic. But I love it. I love comedy. I've been doing this for, it gives me happiness because I come from one of the like the hardest countries in the world. I was born in a refugee camp, actually. I was born in Kakuma refugee camp because my country had war back in the days. And a lot of people always ask me, what's the difference between a refugee camp and IDP? So here's the thing. Refugee camps are refugee camps, the way you hear that, right? And then IDPs are internally displaced people, right? Same reasons. Refugees and IDPs are all displaced by the same reasons, maybe natural calamities, war, or any other thing. But the difference is IDPs stay within the borders, right? And then refugees cross the borders. In simple terms, IDPs are the local ones, refugees are the international ones. We are the Jay-Z's, like the Lil Wayne. That's who we are, right? But you know, growing up, I didn't know, because I was born in a refugee camp. I didn't know any other place. I didn't know that I was born I didn't know where I was. I actually thought I was born in USA, to be honest. Because what used to happen is that foreign countries used to donate stuff. They donate sugar, they donate salt, they put them in a tin, and then they write on the tin, donated by USA. Like you see the word USA, you see Canada. Now, when we stayed in the camps for a very long time, our parents started building permanent houses. So what you do with those tins when you finish using them, you cut them into like a long piece, straighten it up, and make a door. So our home door was made up of tins written on USA. Every time people ask me where do you stay, I'm like, in USA. I can't wait to apply for my first USA visa. I'm sure they're gonna ask me, have you ever been to USA before? I'm like, you bet I have. I can't wait, I really can't wait. But here's the thing, when you're born in a camp, you don't know any other place. And that's where you get your happiness. I got my happiness from there because everything that came around was just, I didn't know any other better thing. Like one of my favorite moments in the camps was during Christmas. During Christmas, we moved from house to house because every child belongs to everyone. You eat from wherever you want to eat from. You go to every house like, eat, Mubarak alaikum, Jua wal bara. This means Christmas, Christmas. How are you doing? Should I come in or continue? When there is food, they'll tell you Jua, come in. When there's no food, they say bara. But I can't, there was this bad Christmas, like it was terrible. Everyone was broke in the camp. I can't remember the year properly, but every house you went to, they're like, bara, 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 bara. This Christmas was so bad that we, the kids, and our parents were moving from house to house looking for food. I went with my mom, we went to our neighbor's place, we were knocking, eat Mubarak alaikum, Joel bara. Nobody was answering. We say it again, nobody was answering. My mom is like, you know what, let's just go back home. It's not gonna work. We go back home and then we meet this neighbor. Then my mom was like, yo, where were you? I was at your house. The neighbor's like, I was also at your house. Where were you? It was a terrible one. It was a crazy one, but I'm happy that I found comedy. Because comedy gave me a life when I never had any. I come from a country where everything is really serious, everything is really tough. I come from South Sudan. My country was created in 2011, separated from Sudan. It was a big country, and then we got our small part, but our part has the oil. Yeah. So our country was created in 2011, and as a country, we don't have history. I mean, like people like America, you guys have history up to Abraham Lincoln in the 18s and all that. South Sudan, 2011, what do you want us to tell you? We had the first president, he passed on, and we are here. If you want, we shall make history. You know, with other countries, like you guys have ancestors in the 20s and all that. South Sudan, 2011, imagine an 8-year-old ancestor. In fact, in South Sudan, I'm an ancestor right now. I was there when they were creating it. I was there. Like, it's a very small country, a very small space. I've traveled through comedy, I was in South Africa. It's a very big city. Highways going everywhere, the roads going up like this, interchanging each other. South Sudan, we're still struggling with this one, but we shall get there. Like, I was driving with a friend in South Africa, and it was going like 120 kilometers per hour, and we're still in the city, where I'm from. 60 kilometers per hour, you're out of the country. You must have your passport with you. And then, like South Africa was the first time I got out and like saw real stuff. So the South African airport, the OR Tambo airport, very big. I got lost trying to get to my boarding gate, and I missed my flight. And then I got to realize that you will never miss your flight at Juba International Airport. Because our airport is so small that you're checking in from here, and the plane is there. Like you can see eye to eye with the pilot. If he tries to leave, you're like, where are you going? I'm here. You even throw your stuff. Like that's the struggle. But when you are from South Sudan, to survive in South Sudan properly, there are things that you need to. It's either you're famous, or you know people, or you're an artist or anything like that. Because it's a struggle when you don't. We come from a country where your life is measured by your people, your past, like your father. Like if I go anywhere right now and I introduce myself, my full name is Akau Daniel Jambo Pondak. Okay, so my father fought for the country before he died in 2000, and he was a major general by then. And people are like, oh, I know your father. He fought for the country. Let's help you. They give you whatever you want to get. If you get in trouble, say your father's name. Like, oh, I know your father. Let's help you. So when I'm out of the country, I'm AK Dance. When I'm in South Sudan and I get in trouble, I am AK Dance, Akau Daniel Jambo Pondak, all the ancestors. Don't arrest me. Identify someone there. Like that's how you have to survive. But if you introduce yourself and nobody recognizes anyone, any of your fathers, just know that your father wasted his childhood. He wasn't even a good drunkard, like he wasted his childhood. Like that's how the struggle is. And everyone, so people start exploiting that. When we go out, we're having fun. The next thing you see, people are having a fight and someone is like, do you know who I know? I can call who I know right now. So there was a time I got into a fight with a dude. We were fighting for a parking lot. And then this dude starts saying, do you know who I know? I was like, my friend, I don't know, but you can call him. I might learn and see who he is. And then he's like, I'm going to call my father. Like, call your father. I also know people. He calls his father. His father pulls through. Me too. I was like, do you know who I know? Let me call my uncle. He fought in the war with my father. I called my uncle. My uncle is also a general. Now, here's the thing. You know, these generals and big people are always busy. And he wasn't picking up. Do you know how stupid you look trying to reschedule a fight? Like, I was talking to the guy. I was like, so my uncle is not picking up right now. But he's a very serious man. Can we do this fight tomorrow, lunchtime? He'll be very free at lunchtime. Like, that's the hustle. That's the hustle. But I love it. That's where I'm from. It's amazing. And I use all these stories to reflect back. I go through people, tell my story and try to push and try to pay back to my people in the camps. I ask my friends for stuff most of the times when I'm visiting. Ask my friends to donate some stuff and like, yo, you have some things I can take over. But I need to make something clear. We don't accept everything in the camps. Like usually when I ask my friends to donate stuff, they come with stuff that needs to go, like shirts with no collars and all that. I'm like, bro, chill. Like we need collars in the camps. Like there's no memo that we don't need collars in the camps, right? But again, I also have other people that are really generous that bring stuff that are so new. It's like they just came from the shop. Someone comes with new Nike shoes, new shirts, dope shoes. Now I'm caught in between. Who really needs these shoes? Is it the refugees or me? Refugees need rice, not Nike shoes. And that's how I ended up with this dope all-stars here. Anyway, thank you so much. My name is AK Dan. Thank you for tuning in. Please donate and support this great cause. It's been a blessing being with you guys here. Be safe. Thank you so much.
AK Dance.
Yes, my brother.
Such a wonderful set, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. That's very, very good content. AK Dance is all the way from South Sudan, but we are with him in Kenya for this wonderful cause.
Yes,
thank you,
yes,
sir,
yes,
for accepting to be part
My pleasure,
of this.
man. My pleasure.
Yes, sir. We had a few problems getting AK Dance to have makeup on. I think AK Dance likes to lower people's expectations when they meet him in person. Did I assume wrong?
No, you didn't. I just wanted to keep it dark.
I was so itching. I was itching to ask you about why comedy, while you could be a very good soldier, probably, right now. Why would you choose to laugh? Why would you choose humor to deal with the problems that are going on in South Sudan?
I think I'd had enough share of guns for myself. So comedy was the time.
For real, you've had that experience. You were born at a time when things were very, very hot. In fact, I should say that it's such an honor to be on set with the youngest ancestor in Africa. So you've had that experience, the refugee experience, from scratch.
I have.
And what keeps you going? What gives you the morale to keep moving?
There's a better tomorrow, man. There's a better tomorrow. And you can only see it if you get there. So wake up, get there. Yeah,
and
never give up.
Having grown up at Kakuma, the Kakuma refugee camp, which I've had a chance to visit.
Yes, you have?
Yes. I've had a chance to visit the
How
Kakuma
you like
refugee
it?
camp. You grew up at the camp.
Yes, there. Did you see a house like with iron sheets and then a beautiful house? That was ours.
Oh, that was yours. Then that's not the Kakuma refugee camp. The Kakuma refugee camp I visited.
I can't see any permanent structures that I remember in Kakuma, but Kalobeye is the way to go. Kalobeye, in fact, should be the prototype of how Africa responds to shelter needs of people who've been forced to flee their homes. You know, shelter restores dignity.
But what gave you hope at the camp? And what, as in looking back to where you're from, what would you say to that young boy who's still at the refugee camp?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the thing is, when you're born there, you don't know anything else. You've never seen, you don't see a better thing until you get out. So for me, it was just, I was just living, I was just there. Like, but other people who had seen other things, other people who knew we had a place to go back to. I could hear stories of when we're going back to Sudan by then and all that. But to me, I didn't know anything else. It's my brothers who knew, because my brothers came to the camp, but I was born there. For me, that was home. It was until I came to Nairobi for a visit. I was like, okay, there's life outside here.
So people at the camp actually do look forward to going back home.
Yeah, of course, because it's temporary. Everything in the camp is temporary. We're living there temporarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what keeps you going.
That's what keeps us going. Like maybe one time the world will get back to its senses and we shall stay together.
And that's why we do courses like this. That's why we do what we do. And through your intervention, and the fact that you and I can do something about what other people are going through, families that have been forced to flee their homes, is why we do such noble causes. And thank God we have you. And in fact, it's very, very interesting that you've also improved, as in you've also grown from performing to 2 people to performing to 2 people.
To that one person. Please don't go to the washrooms. Don't go to the washrooms. Let me finish the whole show.
Yes. Please donate. The link is right here below this clip. Please.
Yes.
Because one as little as you have goes a long way to come through for a family out
Exactly.
there.
Exactly.
Thank you, AK Dance, for being
accepting
to be
my
part
pleasure.
of this.
I want to say a big shout out to all the comedians that agreed to step on this great cause. Thank you for helping our brothers and sisters, wherever they are in the world. Thank you so much. And let's do this again and again. We hope that we encourage more people to step up and do their part. And with that, the world will keep on moving. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
AK Dance, what a phenomenal performance. I'm sure you all enjoyed it. It was absolutely fantastic, super funny, and from a refugee camp. What a beautiful pleasure to have him here with us. But for now, ladies and gents, I feel like it's time to change the flow, change the rhythm. Let's get some music going. I know you want to get up out of your seat and get dancing. Give it up, go wild for the one and only Tubaba!
Try to touch your life today. Touch your life today. Touch your life today. Try to touch your life. True up for history. Them talk and say no man, it's an island. Them they talk for history. Them say one tree can never make a forest. Them they talk and I say come be so. What till you get to show? What till you get to say? What till you go do for the matter? Hold my hand, I hold your hand. We go there stronger. Do something for another man. Bring out the laughter. All we need is one love. Yeah, all we need is one heart, one heart. Yeah. Touch your life today. Touch your life. No matter what you get, try to touch your life today. Touch your life today. Touch your life today. As you walk, you be successful. Try to touch your life today. As you walk, you pray, make it better, make you hammer, make you successful. And if you walk for you, remember say some people they never believe fool. I say now one drop of water, they create an ocean. Yeah. So make we join up together to get our nation. So if I do for one person, you do for another person. And so we go to multiply all our blessings. If you get you one lesson, where we don't learn for this one, it's greatness stay inside every person. Yeah. And if you believe in good, and you believe in humanity, yeah, let's pay it forward. Let the people after be the reward. Yeah. Touch your life today. Touch your life. No matter what you get, try to touch your life today. Touch your life today. Touch your life today. As you walk, you be successful. Try to touch your life today. Touch your life today. Touch your life today. Hey, try to touch your life today. Touch your life today. Touch your life today. As you walk, you be successful. Try to touch your life today. Touch your life today. Touch your life today. You no matter what you get, try to touch your life today. Touch your life today. Touch your life today. Yeah, try to touch your life today.
All right, at this moment, we're very happy to invite to the stage a special thank you message from an incredibly special someone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the glorious, the gracious Nomzamo.
Wow, what an incredible experience. You guys are so awesome, and of course you held it down, and we are so grateful that you just put everyone together and made such an amazing experience for all of us. On behalf of UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, I'd just like to say thank you to our committed partners who continue to stand in the gap with us as we continue to be the voice of those who seem voiceless in the world, and of course those who are the most marginalized, and that is our forcibly displaced brothers and sisters. Thank you so much to the Old Mutual Group. Thank you to Moran Publishers. Thank you so much to every single private sector partner that continues to stand with us, and of course everyone who believes in the Do It LuQuLuQu movement. And that is simple. We say that our message and our hope is one, that our language is one, that our ability to overcome, it is so much more similar than it is different. So thank you for standing with us, and of course to everyone at home, thank you for your engagement. Social media is going abuzz, and of course thank you for being here and supporting us, and continue to just be the voice. Just be the voice, spread the message. The more the merrier. And of course, if you also want to play your part and want to donate, please go to donate.unhcr.org/comedy with a purpose. Donate.unhcr.org/comedy with a purpose.
I want to take this moment to give a massive shout out and a huge thank you to all of our partners. We appreciate your involvement, and an even bigger thank you to everybody watching. Thank you for watching. I hope I look cute. It's these lights that make me perspire like this, so I'm going to go and try and find some powder while you guys celebrate the amazingly funny Eddie Caddy!
Hello guys, how are you? My name is Eddie Caddy. You can call me Eddie, but you know, you can tell from my name, the flow of it, I'm from a beautiful part of Africa, yeah, called the Democratic Republic of Congo, or DR Congo, or I like to call it Dr. Congo, the Garden of Eden. The reason why I call it Dr. Congo is because you need us. We provide the health for Africa. That's just a fact. But you know, I've grown up in the UK. I've been in the UK for a very long time. Yes, indeed. But you know, and I say I've grown up in the UK, and I've said I moved to the UK. It was not my decision to move to the UK. My parents decided one day they just wanted to take me. They did not negotiate. That's why I say, you know, it was down to them. And I was so confused for a very long time, because let me go back to how life was in Congo. Life was beautiful. You know, I grew up in a country where there was enjoyment, like dancing in the rain. You know, in Congo, rain was there for enjoyment. It's not like here in the UK, when it rains, you run inside. We ran outside. And people might be thinking, oh, is that the only time you took a bath during the rain? Don't be silly. It was not about bathing. But this was an opportunity where I could bathe in unison with the world. I could bathe naturally. Not like when my mom used to bath me, it should be scratching my eyes, scratching my back. The rain knew what I needed to just release from my life. That's why it was exciting. I even remember my granddad. My grandfather would live half of the year in the village and half of the year in the city. He would come back and bring livestock. My granddad gave me my first best friend, the pet goat. The goat did not have a name. Some people called it meh. I just called it my friend. And my granddad gave me these instructions. Said, Eddie, I want you for the next 2 weeks to go and feed this goat in the grass fields. Every day, like clockworks, I will go and feed this goat. I will go and feed this goat. This goat became my best friend. One day I turned up in the morning, just like usual, my routine to take my best friend. I was looking for my meh. My cousins started laughing at me. Said, hey, you're looking for your best friend. I said, yes, where's my best friend? They looked at me and said, have you heard the term, you are what you eat? I said, yes. Well, you have become your best friend. What does that mean? So you are more connected to your best friend than you ever thought. So what do you mean? Your best friend, we ate it last night. And the worst part is, I enjoyed that meal. I enjoyed it. I was so hurt. But I remember those moments, those beautiful moments that nobody can take away from me. And of course, now moving back to the UK, growing up in this country, there were things that I realized straight away. I thought black people only existed in Congo until I came to the UK. And I realized, no. There's black people everywhere. This is where I came across the Caribbeans. And I realized very quickly, we are very different to them. Caribbean people, you know, the way they even enjoy life. Because as a Congolese, as an African, especially as a Congolese, when we dance, Congolese people dance like, you know, we are a result of what we have been through. So for those, you know, Congo, we've been through moments. I like to call them moments. I don't like using other words, moments, because we've all gone through moments. Congolese people have gone through moments where we become paranoid in life. You can tell from the way we dance, like we are looking for our enemy. We are looking for who stole our child, who stole my wife. Somebody owes me money. We are always warning people, don't always. But you know, the Caribbeans, the way they dance, because when they came to the UK, they landed and received British passports straight away, relaxed. They came to the land of honey, milk and honey. So the way they dance, you can see, is that they're skiing in the snow. They're not good at skiing. Have you seen the Winter Olympics? But they're skiing in the snow, the way. Caribbean people are also the kind of people that you can hire them to paint your house from the way they dance. If you see this dance, say, this is the Caribbean. They can paint any house, anywhere, including the upper ceiling. I'm telling you. But I also realize this, you know, for most part of being raised in this country, a lot of people will be asking me questions like, Eddie, you know, can you speak African? What do you mean, can I speak African? What is African? African is not a language. You know, Africa, for me, is not just a country. African is a country, but Africa is not a country. Yeah? Africa is a continent, different parts. You can recognize them by different parts. For me, for example, you know, being from DRC, you also have those, you know, in the west part of Africa, Ghana, Nigeria. You know, you have the East Africans, Kenya, Uganda, South Africa. You know, the Zambia, the Zimbabwe's, of course, and you can tell the difference. Yeah, you can tell from even the way they talk, the way they. For example, Ghanaians. Ghanaian people talk like they're singing. Ask the Ghanaian for directions. Hey. You will see how a Ghanaian will, even the way they will talk, LuQuLuQu will sound like it's got so many U's and Q's. Yes, I'm doing a show for the LuQuLuQu. Yes, everybody, it's going to be amazing. It's a UNHCR. How many N's and H and C's are there in Ghana? We're falling asleep. A Ghanaian will turn LuQuLuQu into capital letters. Yes, I'm doing a show for LuQuLuQu, as if somebody is threatening somebody, as if he's not happy to be there. Yes, I'm doing a show for LuQuLuQu. UNHCR has appointed me personally to do this for you. Absolutely. Congolese people will be rolling their eyes as if they're too happy to be there. Yes, I'm here for the LuQuLuQu. Yeah, you know, it's going to be really amazing. Yes. Some of them, you can see with, like, for East Africa, for the Kenyans that are watching me, you know what I'm talking about. In East Africa, they like neighborhood watch. They will be not only saying LuQuLuQu, but they'll be looking for any potential trauma, looking for any potential attack in the country. That's why you see even the way they dance. Yeah? This is how I welcome the king. Yeah, LuQuLuQu. We're going to do the LuQuLuQu. Yes, yes. I'm telling you. But the crazy thing about understanding what it means to be African, I remember when I went back to Congo, the first time they looked at me. In this country, they look at me as an African. In Congo, they look at me as a British. In Nigeria, they call me a J-Butter, soft hands. You know, when I landed the first time in Congo, 2010, the way they sound to see me, hello, welcome back. And then I realized I even lost my rhythm. I even lost the way I speak. British people speak with soft lips because British people, they have soft lips, small lips. So the accent is different. Africans, our lips are different. So you can tell from the way British people speak, sort of like this. I mean, yeah. Just going down the road, you know, yeah. Look for a little something to eat, yeah, you know. Got any directions, mate? Yeah, can you help me? Yeah, I'll be back in a second. You can see the English is just floating through. But with us Congolese Africans, our lips is like if we have 6 packs. I don't know if it's our diet, maybe fufu, you know? Yeah, because the words bounce. So yes, I'm looking for directions. I need to get to what I need to get to. You can tell from the way, and the words are just bouncing off us. But that's the beautiful thing about being African. I even lost my rhythm. I realized for a very long time I lost my rhythm. When you grew up in Britain, it's as if music was in the air. For us Africans, we are below music. As soon as the beat hits us, it affects us. Straight away, we know we are in one with the beat, like. Did you see that? You missed it. Let me do it again. The beat came straight. Here in the UK, the people, they are there. The music is here. They are there. So music hits them 5 seconds later. Here's the music. It's the difference. This is why they need us. We came from somewhere, but we came with some good gifts. So before I go, I want to let you guys know something about Africans. When you hear us talking, don't be offended. Don't be scared. We have our sound effects. It's a part of us. We know what we're talking about. These are sound effects that we have. Is when you're confused. Is when you're angry. Is when you're late for work. Is when you receive your deportation letter. Is when you've fallen in love. Is when you pass your exam. Is when you got negative on your COVID test. Is finally when you see your ex suffering. You know what I'm talking about. So next time you hear and just understand. LuQuLuQu is in time.
Thank you, Eddie Caddy. I would have had a lot of trouble believing you have roots in Congo if you did not dance through your set.
Exactly. I had to break it down for them, you know. I had to give them a quick something.
But your belt is way low for a Congolese.
Oh, see, you know too much. You know too much, doctor. You know too much. You see, I'm in Britain. So we don't have enough supply of fufu. Because here we eat mashed potato, they're very soft food, so the belt is never needed. You know, in Congo, it has to be held because the fufu is in the system.
Yes. I have always thought, Mama, I've always been under the impression that the standard level of a Congolese belt is to align it with your nipples. But thank you for accepting to be part of this wonderful initiative.
My pleasure, man. You know, there's nothing better to be a part of. This means a lot. As you know, I'm somebody who was born in the Congo, so I grew up here in the UK. So for me, I have 99.9% of my family are back home. I know this situation, and I think that we need to change the narrative of how our journey, beautiful journeys, are perceived around the world.
Africa is a continent. African is a country. And you've had an experience yourself where someone asked you, from one of your sets I've watched, do you speak African?
All the time. In fact, I know people that will go, oh, are you African? Oh, my friend Tunde is African. Do you know him? Tunde is all the way in West Africa. In fact, I can't even get a direct flight to him. How would I know? I'm from Central Africa. They assume we're all in one little small house that's called Africa. All the time, they assume we speak the same language. They don't even realize there's 250 languages alone in Congo. I don't know if I have to do a cocktail of different languages, you know, all the time.
It's such a pleasure that you're also doing, using your talent in comedy, which is, it's very noble. You're using your talent in comedy to remember our brothers and sisters who are in a very, very, very dangerous situation. People who are having to survive through unimaginable circumstances. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you very much.
No, my absolute pleasure, man. I think for me, it's so important to know that there's even family members that I will never get to meet because their path has been so different to mine. You know, so, and it's just not about me, but so many other people. Like if I was that child and my parents didn't bring me over, or I was born in the eastern part of Congo, for example, me and you may not be having this conversation. It may be a different conversation. So I would have loved for people to speak on my behalf, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
Thank you, and thank you. And I hope we get to do this again and again. And before I let you go, there is something you did, some dance like this, which I think I would interpret as a sign language for happiness. Yes, this.
It's called the bogo. This is the Caribbean Jamaican dance. It's called the bogo. I learned this very early on. You know, so that's why I say it's as if you're painting the ceilings. So I learned it very early on. But
in Kenya, that's how sinners communicate. Thank you, Eddie Caddy. Thank you very much, sir.
I will see you in heaven.
Very, very many other such projects in future.
It's been a pleasure. Looking forward to working with you again, my brother. Take care.
Now, before I introduce our next act, I want to tell you that when it came to musical performances, I was not even given a chance to audition. But I sent through my audition tape anyway, and it went something like this. I just want to feel good every day. And apparently that's as far as they got with the listening, because they were like, no, we don't want you. We actually know the person who sings that same song. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor, it's a dream come true, and it makes me feel bigger than I actually am, the phenomenal goddess and queen, Lira.
Good evening, everyone. This is Lira, and I'm so excited to be here. Please enjoy Rise Again. La, 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 rise again. Rise and rise and rise and rise again. Hey. Rise and rise and rise and rise again and rise again and rise again. We rise again and rise again and rise again. At times I feel so lost and disoriented. My life has not worked out the way I planned. Oh no, that I was smart enough to get myself anywhere. But I made a few bad choices along the way. Still I'll rise again. Oh, 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 I'll rise again. Yes, I'll rise again. Oh, yes, I'll rise again and again. At times I feel so lost, my dreams fade from me. My troubled mind can't seem to understand. Have I lost the true meaning of life, my friend? But maybe we fall so we can watch ourselves begin to rise again. Oh, oh yes, we rise again. Oh, yes, we rise again. Oh, oh yes, we rise again. so much. It's just a song that reminds us that it doesn't matter what we're going through. Life is a cycle. Eventually, we do go up again. So just keep the faith.
Yes, sir. Hey.
No, man, this is unfair.
No.
You don't do this to all of the other acts on this lineup. Lira.
But there is one act. The act coming up next, I think, is one of the only acts on the planet of the globe of Earth that could go after Lira.
And he's our good friend, like this. We have his phone number.
Yeah,
we
first name
WhatsApp
basis.
WhatsApp him.
We first name basis,
Yeah.
nicknames.
So that's how it is. But ladies and gents, let's go wild and crazy. Give it up for the one of the best in Africa. It's
Hi guys, hello Africa, how you guys doing? It's me, Bright, aka Basketmouth. Now, 2020 is what everyone has been talking about, and everyone is a bit passionate about the way it has affected them. I see 2020 like an ex-girlfriend that is hot and pained at what her boyfriend did to her. And this is her getting back at her boyfriend. So all you guys have been saying is her throwing things back at the boyfriend. And you see, 2020 doesn't see Africa as the boyfriend. Africa to 2020 is like someone she had a fling with. And that's the reason why, if you pay attention to Africa, apart from the economy that is bad, which we are used to, nothing really bad, really happened. The pandemic came, but it wasn't as bad as the way it hit them over there. The pandemic hit everywhere. America, then the hurricane came, the flood, the fire, everything. And you start thinking, I hope Nigeria is not going to experience these things. And I know every African thought about it, that what if this is the end? What if this is the end time? This is not the end time. This is just someone getting back at us. And you see, I am Nigerian, as you can see. Okay. I've been waiting for our own big moment of 2020 to come, because pandemic hit everybody, but our own 2020 didn't come, at least at the beginning, until later on. So I waited, and then the protest started, and I was like, so maybe the protest is our big moment of 2020, and nothing happened. The protest went on, and then the shooting happened. And I was like, okay, maybe this is our 2020. And nothing happened after that because people were suggesting a war. But that didn't happen. And then the looting started. And that's when I thought that maybe this was our big moment. But that wasn't it. But do you know what our big moment was? The embarrassment. The fact that the whole world was looking at the giants of Africa, as we've been claiming, struggling for COVID-19 palliative. Noodles. The rest of the world, they were looking at Nigerians in thousands, struggling for noodles. The same country that Davido is from. The same country that Whiskey, Soko is from. They are struggling for palliative. I was so upset. And our own 2020 big moment was just the shame that the country where the richest man in Africa is from were struggling for noodles. Now, that wasn't the end. Because I was telling my friends, guys, let's take it down because people are watching. See, Ghana, they are watching. Because we were struggling, which jollof rice was sweeter with Ghana just now. Now they're, you're not even struggling for jollof rice here. And then, I saw the one that broke my heart. And that was our 2020 biggest moment. You know what that was? The guy, I don't know if you people saw this guy, the guy that was carrying a toilet seat. He looted a toilet seat from someone's house. Now, let me paint the picture for you. He didn't go into a store. He went into someone's house to loot, a senator's house. And what he took was a toilet seat. Now, do you know how empty that house would have been for him to decide that it was a toilet seat that he would go home with? Like, that house, like, they must have removed from the ceiling fan down to the curtains, and the guy was like, man, which I go take now? You know what? I'll take toilet seat. Now, mind you, to remove toilet seats, have you tried to remove? Did that guy come with tools? Nope. But that guy removed toilet seats and carried it on his head. And how is he going to sell those toilet seats? You go to the market, say, guy, this toilet seat, now seen it up in get up. Look the picture, look me. But anyway, that was my 2020 big moment. Now, another thing that 2020 came with is the fact that it has reduced one thing that we took for granted, and that thing is our breath. You know, most people just wake up in the morning and they're like, you know what, let me just rush to work. No, it's fine, I'll take mint. And you don't do anything. And at the end of the day, you hurt everybody around you. I know people with bad breath, they are the ones that have the most secrets. Boy, come and tell you something, come. And know what this 2020 did? It made everybody start wearing masks. So if you wear a mask and you didn't brush your teeth before you left your house, well, nobody's going to tell you. You're on your own. That's why you see some people. I saw one guy on a flight. The guy was shedding tears. I was like, are you scared of flying? The guy was like, mm-mm. The guy couldn't even answer me because if he opens his mouth inside that mask, death. Well, thank you very much, guys. All I'm saying is brush your teeth, guys. Thank you very much. Me, right, Basketmouth with the wisdom.
Thank you, Basketmouth. Thank you. It's an honor to have you on this platform, and thank you for agreeing to be part of this noble initiative.
Thank you very much.
Have you had an experience with refugees yourself, Basket?
Yeah, I've had an experience, a personal experience with a guy, a refugee. I met him in the States. He's based in Canada, and the reason why his was unique was the fact that he actually made a video game while he was in the camp. And this video game was picked by, I think it was Google, and now they're making a documentary for him. Netflix is making a documentary for him. And that was one unique thing about this particular guy. And, you know, that made me start paying attention to that arm of life, you know. Because for refugees, you know, they are all running from something. Either it's war, from the authority, you know, and you never can tell where they're coming from and the pain they've experienced. So I always try as much as possible to hear their stories because, you know, you never can tell.
That is great to hear. That's really great to hear. What it really shows is that families forced to flee their homes can actually restart their lives successfully if their community around supports them.
But most importantly, we are doing this so that we can have people donate, so the lives of these people can be improved.
Yes.
You've talked about an experience with a refugee in the US, but do you have a refugee situation in Nigeria?
Oh, yes, we have serious refugee situation in Nigeria, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. Yeah. So we have a serious problem with the IGP camp in terms of their welfare, their security as well, and all that.
Now, as Basketmouth said, it's true that in Nigeria alone, there's over 2 million internally displaced men, women, and children. And there's a great deal we can do to help them get emergency relief assurance, shelter, and support towards being self-reliant.
One thing that most people should take home is the fact that most refugees that we come across, they are just like people, like us, right? But it's just a case of where they are based and the situation that hits them. And most people assume that refugees are just from war-torn countries. No, it's not only from war-torn countries. It can be from any. Some Nigerians are refugees in countries outside Africa, even within Africa. So let's try as much as possible to embrace them and support them because it could be you. You never can tell. It's 2020, and nobody knows what 2021 is coming with. So let's show some love and, reach out to those people that needs it.
Thank you very much for accepting to be a part of this noble initiative, Basketmouth, and I hope you go out there and claim your credit as a pioneer of stand-up comedy in Africa.
Thank you very much. Peace out, Africa. Bye-bye.
A special thank you to Moran Publishers who are doing it LuQuLuQu by supporting refugee education in Kenya. By educating refugees, we empower them with knowledge and skills that no war can take away. Therefore, the gift by Moran Publishers is a gift that keeps on giving. Thank you. Also, a big thank you to Old Mutual, Safaricom, Viacom, and Creative Factory for supporting this historic event. A very big thank you to you too, our viewer. Thank you wherever you're watching this from. Remember, we are doing this for our brothers and sisters who've been forced to flee their homes, and it's not their fault. Without your support, hope diminishes. Thank you and thank you and thank you for being a part of this. Please donate. Go to the website donate.unhcr.org/comedy with a purpose. No amount is too small.
Thank you so much, Dr. King Ori, and of course, Basketmouth. What a legend!
No, legend and a legend among legends. So a huge thank you to all of the artists, all of the performers, all of the partners, and to you, the audience members, for taking time out of your crazy, crazy, crazy pandemic schedules to come and do the right thing and celebrate kindness with us this evening.
That's right, you've already done the right thing by simply tuning in. Remember to do it, LuQuLuQu. Go and donate. Now, you can do it now. You, I can see you. Go and donate now.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again. Do have a wonderful evening. We're not just going to leave you cold. We are going to leave you in the wonderful and very comfortable and confident hands of Tubaba himself. Send us out.
Deb. Why is nobody dabbing?
Yep, what's up? One love to everybody out there. One love to everybody out there. Not too much, man. Let's go. One love. Check.
I never expected to be on a stage with the names that we were on stage with. Like, it's ridiculous. And on top of that, it's for a good cause.
All right, I had an amazing time. I've never done a gig like this before, never. A Pan-African virtual show with my guys across the globe, never before. And I had an amazing time. And the fact that this show is for a purpose, and it's for a good one, makes it even exceptional.
Today was so awesome because I got to join forces with other incredible talent from around the world and use my voice, add my voice to this worthy cause. And I really sincerely hope that together we can pull through and make something special for those people who really need our help.
I was telling jokes. I was in a studio with the green screen. There was no audience there, but it felt like being a comedian. And then also, through Zoom, I was connected to comedians in other countries. I was a comedian in Kenya, there was a comedian in South Africa, and it was like being backstage together, spread around the world, united, working for LuQuLuQu. So it was a delight.
Is it hate? Is it war? Is it fate, yo? I could not relate, yo.
There's so many kids out there that want to be like Basketmouth, Daliso Chaponda, the Goliath, Dr. King Ori. There's so many kids out there. Right now you'll be speaking to them directly, and it's amazing. It's a very big thing. So thank you so much for doing it, guys.
I've just enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed myself, and the fact that it's going to a good cause, to be able to also have fun doing it at the same time, and know that my brothers and sisters across the continent, a truly Pan-African event. As a Pan-Africanist, being able to hold hands with my brothers and sisters, come together with everybody else who are from different parts of the world to pull this together, historical, beautiful. Thank you, LuQuLuQu.
All we need is one love.
When you take it as an initiative to do something about the refugee situation, then we will make the world a better place. And if it's through comedy, which is my art, my form of art, I'm really proud that actually
I stand to be counted among the people who are doing something.
There are 33.4 million forcibly displaced people in Africa. That's 33.4 million people who need our help.
I think that 33.4 million becomes a much realer number, and you start understanding just how much work and help people actually need.
That's
crazy,
almost
bro.
as many people as we have in South
Dude,
Africa.
those are displaced
That's
individuals.
an entire
Forcibly
country.
displaced.
Because we need to leave right now. They're looking at us like,
Also,
guys, get off the stage.
This cholesterol that is coming out of my face. Goodness gracious.
This is great, man.
Fantastic.
Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Thank you very much.
I just want to say salute, and I can't wait for the